Let's talk about the Sabbath, y'all. If you know, you know, the Sabbath is my jam. It's something that I feel very well versed in. But it's so funny because recently I was just really, thinking to myself, even had a conversation with my mom. And you know how we always say it's the day of rest, right? No working, no cooking, no cleaning. Once it comes in, all of that, right? Cool. That's cool. But I was talking with my mom the other day and I was like, okay, but what are we actually doing on the Sabbath? Like, how are we spending that time? Are we actually resting or are we just not doing stuff? Like, for real. Like, let's be so for real. Y'all, that's when it hit me. The Sabbath is just as much about our heart posture as it is about anything we do or do not do. Before I even start cleaning or prepping anything, I really have to slow down. And this means my mind, not just my body, but I have to slow down my mind first. Like, let me breathe. And I'm so sorry, y'all. If you hear my toddler in the background, this is real life here. I've done away with trying to be so aesthetically pleasing. Like the visuals will be there. But when it comes to the background, this is a home where people live in. I have a almost 3-year-old baby girl who is full of energy. So, if that's not your jam, go ahead and click off this video. What were we even saying? Okay, so before I start cleaning, like I said, I really have to start prepping everything. Like I said, I like to slow my mind down first. Let me breathe. Let me let go of whatever happened this past week. Let me make sure my spirit isn't cluttered before I start uncluttering my house, right? Because I've noticed when my mind is all over the place, let me tell you, my prep feels chaotic too. But when I'm intentional, when I take a moment to pray, to reset, to just really calm down, everything feels so much easier. Not perfect, but honestly, it feels so peaceful. Okay, so once my head and my heart are settled, that's when I start prepping the house. I'll do a quick reset, nothing major, just whatever makes the space feel light before the Sabbath comes in. And then I move into the kitchen. Y'all already know that is like my second home, okay? Well, it's inside my home, but like literally the kitchen is it's the heart of the home and it's where I spend most of my time. I really try to keep my meal simple on the Sabbath, but good. Because I still want it to feel special, but not overwhelming. And I don't want to rush it. I just want it to feel loving, if that makes sense. So in this video, y'all, I will be honest, I recorded this video about 2 weeks ago. I think I was making like some baked chicken with some green beans. I can't really remember what else I actually made in this video because I'm actually recording this audio without the visuals. So I'll find out what I was making here when y'all find out what I was making here. But like I said, I really do like to keep things pretty simple. And something I've really been learning is that Sabbath prep, y'all, Sabbath prep does not start on Friday. And I don't think we realize that. I think a lot of us traditionally have just, learned to Sabbath prep Friday, even Thursday. I have ran into a few people that do their Sabbath prep like Wednesday, Thursday, but for the most part, I've always known people to do Sabbath prep on Friday morning. Something that I have really been trying to lean into, and it's a work in progress. I am not perfect, y'all. We are growing together here on this channel. But something that I've really been trying to learn and do more of is as soon as the Sabbath ends, now I'm prepping for the next Sabbath. The more I stretch my prep out throughout the week, the less stressed I am when it comes to Friday evening. Even if it's just something small, like planning the meals early or doing like a quick little tidy on Wednesday, it makes such a difference. So going back to what I was saying about what are we actually doing on the Sabbath, like when the Sabbath comes in, like what are we doing? Like I said, we know we're not supposed to cook, we know we're not supposed to clean or work, but what should we really be doing? For me, this has been something I'm still working on. I'm not perfect at it at all. There have been plenty of Sabbaths where I found myself doing things that weren't necessarily sinful, but later on my spirit definitely just felt a little convicted. I realized I wasn't giving the Most High my first portion of that rest. I wake up, I do a little scrolly scroll, you know how we do. Maybe watch something, maybe talk about random stuff with my husband or with a friend or whatever the case may be. And then later I'd be like, wow, I didn't even pray yet. Like, are we for real right now? And that's where he's been checking me, y'all. Reminding me that the Sabbath isn't just a day off, it's time set apart. So now I try to be more intentional with it. I really want to start my Sabbath by spending real time with the Most High, whether that's praying, reading, listening to the word, listening to worship music, or even just sitting in like a quiet little area for a while before I do anything else. Because the truth is, y'all, it's not that watching a show or talking with family is wrong, but what are we really feeding our spirits first? And that's where balance comes in. Like, obviously, it's okay to rest because that's what the day is for. It's okay to laugh, to enjoy the day because his commandments are not grievous. Grievous, right? Grievous. His commandments aren't grievous, y'all. So there's nothing wrong with that. But again, like I don't want to fill my rest with noise. I want to fill it with the Most High. So yeah, that's something I'm really trying to work on, making sure my Sabbath starts in the spirit, not in distraction. Okay, y'all. So the last thing that I wanted to share with y'all that I've been thinking about lately is how the Sabbath is literally not just a pause. Like I know sometimes we think like, okay, it's the Sabbath, it's Friday, let's pause, let's, get things together. But y'all, it's literally a complete reset button for your whole life. It's that reminder that every single week we are not in control. We can clean all we want. We can plan, we can hustle, we can try to do everything. But on that seventh day, the Most High literally says, stop, rest, trust me to handle it. And that's hard sometimes. I don't know about y'all, but that can be really, really hard. Especially as women and wives and moms, we always feel like there's something left to do. There's always a dish, a load of laundry, a talking toddler in the background of your voice audio when you're recording for YouTube, a message we forget to answer. But baby, when that sun starts to go down, all of Jet just has to wait. Okay, like that stuff can wait. And honestly, y'all, it's so freeing once you get used to it. I've started using the Sabbath to check my spirit too. Like, I'll think back over the week and ask myself, how was my attitude? How did I talk to my husband? How did I show up as a mother? Because I'm very much a mother. Did I give the Most High my best or did I just get by? That little self check keeps me grounded. And it's not about guilt, y'all. It's about growth. The Sabbath gives you that quiet space to hear him clearer. Sometimes I'll just sit outside on my little patio or on the couch by my little window with no phone, no distractions. And it's like he'll bring the things to my mind that I don't know, like I couldn't think about during the week because it just had been too busy or too chaotic or whatever the case may be. It's crazy how much clarity comes when you finally slow down. Another thing I've been trying to do more is include my daughter in that rest. Showing her that day is so special. We might sing a little song, y'all. We got our little Sabbath song, and she loves it. Every time I get my laptop out, she's like, play the Sabbath song. Y'all, she loves the Sabbath song. I'll read her a little children's, like book or something that I've even created because I've created her books on Canva, or we might just read a book from her collection. Or we'll just talk about the Most High and how good he is and, all the things. It can be so simple. You don't have to do too much. But the thing is, I want my daughter to grow up looking forward to the Sabbath, not just seeing it as like a rule. Because, baby, we know how that goes. Y'all know how kids are with rules. Y'all know how adults are with rules. People in general. But it's really about relationship. Our relationship with the Most High and the peace that overflows into our home is something so sacred. And honestly, if it wasn't for the Sabbath, I don't know what that thing would look like. But yeah, I'm just in a place where I want my home to feel like peace. Not because I did the most, but because I moved with intention. The Sabbath is genuinely a gift. Like the Most High literally gifted us a complete day of rest. He knew that like the work week was going to be stressful. He said, "Look, you need a break, sis." He knew that the kids was going to be running us crazy. He literally gave us a gift of rest, a reset, a moment to slow down and just be. So I pray your Sabbath is peaceful and full of rest. And I pray that you are more intentional about how you spend your Sabbath because, look, I'm definitely going to be more intentional about how I spend my Sabbath.